Chaos erupted outside of a federal immigration detention center in New Jersey last week. This was on Friday, as 3 US representatives were on site for an unannounced inspection of said detention center. The debacle eventually led to the arrest of Newark's Democratic Mayor, Ras Baraka, who spent several hours in police custody on Friday, but was eventually released. The reason for his arrest? Allegedly trespassing. Now, there are a lot of moving parts and lots of accusations going around in this story. So first, let's get familiar with the main players and then get into the context of what led up to this arrest. So earlier this month, the Trump administration announced that it would be reopening the Delaney Hall ICE facility in Newark, New Jersey, to essentially expand the detention of individuals who are in the country illegally. Now, Delaney Hall opened on May 1st and has about 1,000 beds to detain people. And the private prison company known as Geo Group actually reached a $1 billion 15-year deal with the federal government to operate and run this detention facility. Newark's Democratic Mayor Ras Baraka has been a big Trump resistor and has been fighting against the Trump administration over the center's opening. And he claims that it should not be open due to building permit issues. Although Delaney Hall has been used as an ICE detention facility during the Obama administration, and there wasn't really any pushback from Democrats on that. Nonetheless, in this case, Baraka is claiming, oh, you gotta abide by permitting rules. And he's kind of using that as an excuse to prevent this facility from being able to operate. Now, what happened on Friday? Well, 3 House Democrats from New Jersey visited the detention facility unannounced to inspect it. That included Bonnie Watson Coleman, Rob Menendez, and LaMonica McIver. Okay, so there they are. They claim that federal officials kept trying to prevent them from, getting access to the facility in order to do the inspection. An hour or so later, the lawmakers arrived. Like after the lawmakers arrived, that's when Baraka and a group of protesters organized right outside of the facility. Baraka stated that he was there to support the lawmakers and attempted to join them during their inspection. Now, the members of Congress are free to do that inspection. They have the right to do that inspection. There are some questions about whether Baraka was able to join them. Federal officials did not allow him to, and that's when all hell broke loose. So in video of this altercation that was shared with the Associated Press, a federal official in a jacket with the logo of the Homeland Security Investigations can be heard telling Baraka he could not enter the facility because you are not a Congress member. Baraka then left the secure area, rejoining protesters on the public side of the gate. However, a heated argument ensued, and according to one activist, there was yelling and pushing. Then the officers swarmed Baraka. They threw one of the organizers to the ground. They put Baraka in handcuffs and put him in an unmarked car. Baraka was arrested and charged with 1 count of trespassing. So at this point, you have DHS Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin speaking to CNN to justify his arrest. Let's take a look at that.
What the mayor says, and he's been saying for several days, is that you all don't have the proper permitting, or at least the facility owned by Geo Group, a private company that's contracted with the federal government, does not have the proper permitting, the certificate of occupancy, and there are some violations. To that, you say what?
That is flat out false. That is just political gamesmanship. We have the proper permitting. We've gone through proper inspections. It's a joke. And by the way, he should not. This is a guy who is going and storming an ICE detention facility. He's putting detainees at risk. He's putting law enforcement at risk. He's joined by a mob of people who have said we should end ICE. This is nothing more than political games, and we're not playing.
Wait a minute, so the Trump administration suddenly is worried about the safety of detainees? They're worried about Mayor Baraka putting detainees at risk when the Trump administration is literally sending immigrants to third countries like El Salvador. Okay, I don't buy that argument at all. Also, pretty heavy-handed to arrest an elected official over trespassing. But maybe there's something more to this story that we haven't seen yet. What do you think, Cenk?
Yeah, no, I know that Republicans are very concerned, especially Trump is very concerned about putting government security folks like cops in any kind of danger. They're very concerned. That's why when January 6th happened, they're like, man, we have got to arrest these people and put them in jail for a long, long time. I mean, they're beating the cops with with sticks, and they've got a noose there. I mean, my God, attacking the cops is totally unacceptable. Unless it's January 6th, in which case they're awesome patriots and tourists and Antifa and the greatest people in the world. Okay, so which one is it? Which one is it? Secondly, yeah, and I noticed the same thing. You know, the mayor was putting the detainees in danger, right? The detainees were like, please protect us from the mayor who's trying to release us. We'd love to stay confined here. Oh my God, the people who kidnapped me off the street and put me here are just the greatest protectors. Don't try to help me. Yeah, that happened. Yeah, no matter what you think of the detainees and the private prison and all that stuff, you know that was a lie, right? Come on, that's not subtle. Okay, so then we're asked to believe these liars that the mayor and the Congress people, what does she say? Storm the building, okay, and put everyone's lives in danger. Okay, so I'm less likely to believe that, but I have a very clear standard that applies to everyone, Republican, Democrat, it doesn't matter, okay? So if one side started the hostilities and actually did something physically violent, right? Whether it was the mayor or the cops, they should be held accountable, or the guards in that case, right? That's it. And so let's roll the tape, let's figure it out, and we're done with it. So, but people will probably look at the tape and go, whoever's on my side, I think is the innocent one. And the other side is doing the pushing, whether my eyes tell me that or not. I mean, look, I don't have the full tape. I just saw what you guys saw there. And in that one, it looked like the guards were pushing the Congress people. But we'll see the full tape and we'll get the comments.
Yeah, the full tape is super important, and that will obviously determine what my view is on the members of Congress. However, look, DHS is making statements that are literally unbelievable, and I'll explain why. Before I do, I want to go to F5 here. So same DHS spokeswoman, she's on CNN, and she issues a threat to the Democratic Congress people who were there at the facility for the inspection. Let's take a look at that.
And Victor, I think that we should let viewers know there will likely be more arrests coming. We actually have body camera footage of some of these members of Congress assaulting our ICE enforcement officers, including body slamming a female ICE officer. So we will be showing that to viewers very shortly.
You say a video of members of Congress body slamming ICE
That's correct.
officials?
That's correct, sir. It's disgusting.
Okay, and so if you have that video, are you suggesting that members of Congress will be arrested who were there yesterday?
This is an ongoing investigation, and that is definitely on the table.
I want to be clear about something. If a member of Congress is going around assaulting people, including ICE agents, yeah, there should be consequences for that. However, I find it interesting that there were 3 members of Congress there that day. The DHS spokesperson did not name the individual who allegedly body slammed, ICE agents. And also, let's go to graphic 1 here. Let's take a look at the 3 members of Congress who were there that day, who are now being threatened with arrest. Which one of these 3 allegedly body slammed an ICE agent? Why haven't we seen the full video yet?
I got my money on lady on the left. I mean, if that's not the Undertaker, I don't know who is.
She's fierce.
She looks super tough. Okay, so that's a hell of a promise. I mean, that's up there with I have the Epstein files on my desk.
Right.
Okay, one of those people picked up an ICE agent and body slammed him. Did they do a stone cold stunner? Okay, okay, all right, we'll see, right? And secondly, if you're thinking, yeah, well, Congress was definitely not gonna body slam anyone, that's actually not true. A Montana Republican who he was a candidate at the time, became a congressman, and then eventually was in Trump's cabinet, did body slam a reporter, okay?
What?
Yeah, literally picked him up and body slammed him.
Who?
I'm forgetting the name of the reporter now, but I actually
I remember that story.
Yes,
Yes, I remember that story now.
And he worked for like a small paper that was about Jewish Americans or something. It was like a tiny little thing, and he asked a very benign question. He's actually a very good reporter, right? And asked a perfectly good question. He's like, "Oh, sit down and body slams him." You know what Trump said? He's like, "Oh, that's old school. I like that." Okay, and he said he loved it. Now he's like, body slamming a guard, arrest all the Democratic Congress people involved. Okay, yeah. All right, guys, this is the important part. They're trying to intimidate people from speaking out against them. So they do it in all these things. That's why they arrested the judges. That's why they were arresting this mayor. That's why they're saying that they might arrest the Congress people.
Yeah.
So they're sending a message. You better not rule against us. You better not interfere in any way. You better not, if we got private prison guards who are doing questionable things, it doesn't matter. Don't go near it. Don't protest, because we'll arrest. We'll arrest anyone for anything.
So I want to show you what DHS did release. I don't know if you could really see much here, but let's go to video 4 to see what DHS claims depicts members of Congress assaulting ICE agents.
Brand new video coming into the newsroom this morning. DHS releasing this exclusively to Fox. Body cam footage showing New Jersey Democratic representatives shoving DHS agents and screaming in ICE agents' faces while trying to enter ICE's Delaney Hall detention facility in New Jersey yesterday.
So I didn't see any body slamming, but don't even shove or push people. Just don't do that. Don't put your hands on people, period. Do I think that justifies arresting a sitting congressperson? No, but I would avoid putting my hands on anyone. Whether it's an ICE agent, a DHS agent, doesn't matter. Don't put your hands on people. It's that simple.
Yeah, so by the way, I look at that video, who's assaulting who? They seem to do a chest bump or whatever. I couldn't tell who initiated what. So, okay. And by the way, remember one of the charges here is, so we gotta arrest a politician that's opposed to us because of trespassing. Meanwhile, when Trump was arrested for keeping top secret national documents in a bathroom in Mar-a-Lago, or massive financial fraud, or 1,000 other things he did wrong.
Witch hunt.
Okay. I can't believe you're arresting a political opponent. Well, what? Just because he had top secret documents in the bathroom that anybody could walk into, just because he's now all of a sudden trespassing, we're arresting you. That's it. You better not oppose us in any shape, way, or form. Otherwise, we're gonna arrest you. Right? Look, guys, I'm gonna say one last thing in a sec, but it was Gianforte in Montana.
Yes.
And he body slammed Ben Jacobs, who at the time actually was working for The Guardian. And Ben Jacobs is a great reporter. All right, last thing is, don't give in to any of this, because they're trying to make you afraid. If you get afraid and you're full of fear, they win, okay? Be full of hope instead. Understand the challenges, don't be naive about it, but then get up and fight back in a productive, constructive way so that you have hope in your heart instead of fear. That's my 2 cents for what it's worth, and I hope it's worth something, because if they intimidate us into not fighting back in the right ways, politically, rhetorically, constructively, then they'll have won. Don't let them do that. Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.